back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. I'm sorry if you can hear the AC in the background, but I am way too hot to turn that off. I already turned the fan off, and I'm way too hot for that. But hopefully whatever music I end up putting in the background will drown it out some for you. I'm also in the middle of feeding Londyn her breakfast, so you might hear that too. A little wrapper. She's eating a little mini honey bun right now. Anyways, in today's video, Nix, don't you? I got Nix here with me too. I'm out of breath now. I just got back from Walmart because I had to go grab some things for a project and for dinner and just a bunch of other random stuff, and I'm still getting off topic. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about my journey of breastfeeding with Londyn and just how everything has gone and how everything has been. Nix is trying to steal her breakfast. Stop. Okay, so I'm just gonna talk about some of the main things and just how it's been for us, and yeah. Whenever I was pregnant with Londyn, I went back and forth a lot with what I was gonna do. Like, deep down I knew that I would always choose to breastfeed. Sorry, she's playing with the tripod. Sometimes I had doubts where I thought about formula, but they were never serious, and it was just always like just stupid jokes, kind of. Like, I always knew that I would breastfeed as much as I could. And then I also went back and forth on how I was gonna breastfeed, because there was a time period where my plan actually was I was going to exclusively pump and only feed her breast milk through bottles. I wasn't going to nurse. But that all went out the window when she was born. Right now. In the hospital, she didn't really eat much. Like, there were times where she would go like 5 hours where she would not wake up to eat. And we kept trying to get her to latch. It was super, super painful. And I had these like nipple shields that they make that my mom had given me for my baby shower, and I would use those because it made it so much easier on both of us. And all the nurses would question me, and they would like judge me for doing that. Like, they would act snobby towards me because of it, and I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to feed my kid however I see fit. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, and it's making it easier for both of us. There was one point where they had me use one of their hospital pumps to pump to try to get her to drink from a bottle, but in the hospital she did not want to wake up for anything to eat. But once we got home, and like, you know, birth is very traumatic for a baby in a way. Like, it's very hard on their bodies, they're exhausted, they're tired, and they just need sleep a lot when they're newborns, especially right after birth. So she was tired. She just wanted to sleep, which was fine. She was still growing okay. She was still using the bathroom okay. So it wasn't really that big of a deal. We got home. She kind of got used to things. It was fine. She would eat every 2-3 hours like a newborn's supposed to. And for the first month, I would sometimes nurse, and then, like, I would nurse one side and I would pump the other side, and then like after she was done nursing, I would pump out the rest, and then I would store all of that milk. So I had a good little bit of bags in the freezer that I froze for future dates. Like, I wanted to like have a stash in case like I wasn't producing enough or anything like that. Sometimes I would use what I had frozen, I would thaw it out, and I would use that if I knew we were going out in public. In the very beginning, like, I just wasn't that comfortable with nursing in public, especially like in the very beginning. We had my family around. Well, not really, they left. We had Christopher's family came and visited, we had doctor's appointments, if we went out and did anything with like his friends or anything, like I just felt weird nursing in front of him. So a lot of the times I would use that milk, I would thaw it out and use it if I knew we were going to be out or around people that day. Eventually I got over that and just would nurse fine. Like I still always cover myself. I don't ever just have it out in the open, not because I don't agree with it, but because I'm not comfortable myself doing it. It just, I have really bad anxiety. It makes me feel really awkward, and I just don't like it. So I always use a cover, and eventually I got over the whole weirdness about not nursing in public and would do it with the cover and be fine. Nobody has ever said anything to me about it. We went out to dinner with his family one time and I did it, and his cousin just goes, "So that's a thing?" And it's like, yeah, it's a thing, and that was it. He was just being funny, you know, he wasn't being mean or anything. What is on my couch? Huh. Something on the couch? Anyways, that's how it went in the first month. And after about a month of doing that, pumping and nursing, back and forth, switching, whatever, like I would nurse sometimes, pump sometimes. If I had some pump milk ready, I would just give that to her and then pump again, and I just kind of did what I felt I needed to do in the moment. But after about a month, I completely stopped pumping. I'm not entirely sure what made me decide to do that, but I just stopped pumping. I still nursed with the shields because it was still really painful then. And what? Nix is going crazy about your honey bun, so how about you finish eating it so that she can stop attacking me. She's not actually attacking me, but she is going crazy. But yeah, I completely stopped nursing. Not nursing, I completely stopped pumping, sorry. And I haven't touched the pump since she was about a month old. I still had some milk left over that I would use. Sometimes I would just use it to like mix baby rice cereal before we switched over to baby-led weaning. I didn't do that very often. And sometimes I just used it just to like have a break in a way, or if we were still out and about, just because I wanted to use the stash. Eventually, it had been so long since I used any of the stash that it was all going bad, because you can only freeze it for like 6 months in a regular freezer. So eventually I was like, I don't know what to do with all this milk, because she didn't take a bottle. She only nursed, so I had no use for it really. Not as much as I had. Like, thinking back, I could have kept it and like did like a breast milk bath or something like that, but I don't remember. I don't really even remember what I did with it. But eventually I got used to it and I stopped using the shield. I haven't used the shield in a really long time. I haven't pumped in a long time, and we just exclusively nursed, and that's what worked for us. Londyn never took a bottle after that first couple months whenever I stopped doing pumped milk. She when the doctor told us to start her on juice or water, she refused to take the bottle, so it was really hard, but we shouldn't have given it to her. It's an outdated suggestion from a pediatrician, and I wouldn't have done it had I known that. So I just kind of didn't worry about it. I'm like, she gets everything she needs from breast milk. And then once we switched over to baby-led weaning, it was the same. You know, her primary food was breast milk, but then she would have snacks. She would have breakfast, lunch, and dinner of real food with us, but it was always breast milk was the sole nutrient for her. But yeah, as she started to eat more table food, she started to nurse less, which is normal. Now that she's gonna be 14 months old in a week, She only nurses to go to sleep at night. Other than that, she doesn't nurse at all throughout the day anymore. Sometimes she would nurse to like take a nap, or if she was like overly fussy for a certain time of day. But that was like a week or two ago, whenever she would sometimes still nurse during the day. But we've completely cut that out since then, and she only nurses to go to bed at night, which is good, because my plan was to kind of have her weaned by 15 months, because I want to have a break in between breastfeeding. Like, I want to have a few months off of breastfeeding before I start over again with a whole nother baby. So that'll be nice to have a little break for a couple months. Almost a year. Well, not really. It'll probably be around like 7-ish months. Londyn, can you leave stuff alone? Now that she drinks whole milk, she drinks it out of like a 360 cup, because like I said, she never took a bottle after that whole time period. Like, she took a bottle in the very beginning, but once I stopped using bottles, I couldn't get her to take one again, which is fine. Not something I have to, it's like less that I have to break her off of. Like, she stopped taking a passy really early, she stopped taking a bottle, which is good. I don't have to break her off of a passy, and I don't have to break her off of a bottle. She went straight to a cup, and it's good. It's easier on me. So yeah, she drinks whole milk now. Right now she's been drinking about 2-3 cups a day. Before, I could barely get her to drink one a day, but now she realizes what it is and that she likes it. So she'll sit there and chug a whole cup. She's still not to the point where she will lay down with a cup of milk and like drink it and take a nap or go to sleep. She'll walk around all day and just drink it when she feels like it, and then she still has to lay with me to take a nap. Like, I'll come pick her up, and I'll be sitting on the couch, and I'll just lay her on me. And she doesn't nurse anymore. Sorry, she's messing with the PlayStation. Anyways, yeah, like I said, she still sits with me to go to sleep. She always takes a morning nap at around 11 in the morning, and she'll just lay with me on the couch. Sometimes I'll nap with her, because I'm like super exhausted now all the time. So sometimes I'll like lay down and take a nap with her, and sometimes Sometimes I get stuck on TikTok and never end up going to sleep. Whatever. So now that she doesn't nurse to go to sleep, she started up another habit, which is very annoying for me and kind of painful. But her thing now to go to sleep is she has to put her hand in my shirt, and she like pinches me, like pinches my boobs and my nipple, which is very uncomfortable, and I don't like that she does it. But if I move her hand, she screams and cries. So sometimes I just let her do it just because it's easier, but sometimes they'll be so sore that I'm like, dude, you really can't. Like, I'm sorry, but no, stop it. So it just depends on like how sore they are that day. Now that she nurses less, they're less sore depending on the time of month. I always get super, I'm sorry this video is kind of TMI, but you asked for it. I'm just being honest. Around ovulation time, I get super sore nipples, and so that's about like the week of around ovulation. They get really sore, where like I don't like them being touched at all, and I hate nursing during that week. I don't deal with that now. I'm not like in a rush to like stop completely nursing her right now. She's almost 14 months and she nurses once a day to go to bed. But like I'm just gonna like see where it goes, like give her a couple months to decide, like maybe she's gonna start taking a cup to go to bed, a cup of milk to go to bed, or maybe she won't need it anymore. I'm just gonna kind of see where it goes. I'm not gonna like just cut it out and be like, nope, no more. So yeah, that's how that is. That is how our journey has been. I successfully breastfed her until over a year old, which is the main goal, is at least to a year, but the more you can do, the better. Some people nurse till 2, 3 plus. So yeah, that is what our journey has been, and that is what my plan for the future is, just to like kind of feel it out, see what happens. Give her a couple more months to see like if she decides to like wean herself off completely or what. She doesn't need to nurse anymore because she eats 3 full meals a day plus snacks. Nix. So she doesn't need breast milk because she's fed. It's more of a comfort thing for her right now. Like, she doesn't take a passy, like I said. She doesn't like carry around a stuffed animal. She doesn't have like a special blanket that she carries around or anything like that. Like, I'm her comfort thing and nursing is her comfort thing, so I'm not gonna just take that away from her. Like, as a kid, I had a blanket that I carried around until I was like 7, 8 years old. My brother and sister have blankets. My mom has a blanket. All of my brothers and sisters have their own blanket that is their comfort item, and Londyn just never got attached to anything like that besides me, which is one of the best feelings as a mom, like being your kid's comfort, but at the same time it can be kind of inconvenient. It can be kind of inconvenient because, especially as a newborn, like she always had to be laying with me. She always had to be held, so I could never cook, I could never clean, I could never do anything really. So it was kind of difficult, but at the same time, it's like an awesome feeling. So, I mean, I made it work. But I still have been sidetracked a million times. But I think this is all for this video. I think that's all, everything about our breastfeeding journey personally. I hope to breastfeed any future children for at least a year. I don't know what that spot on my camera is. At least a year is always the main goal. And yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Keep up with everything, even go as far as turning on the notification bell so you're alerted when I post. I post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and yeah, and there's a lot of exciting stuff coming up with the holidays and the cruise and all this other crazy stuff. So the channel's gonna be fun in my opinion. So don't forget to do any of that, and we will see you next time.